I run too hard, it could be oblivion. I dream I was making love to a whole new life. Learn my lesson once, I'll skip the reminder of what's left for me if I turn around. You let me this hurts. You let me down. You let me down. You let me down. Down again. You let me down. you never had it rough. We're just having fun. Someone tell him not to run. Told you I come alive when I drive through the woods at night. It's a fine line. This is yours and this is mine. Wake your hunter's mind. Tear apart what you can find. Reading no umbrella, not your Cinderella. Wanna go like hella, yeah. Show me how you get 'em. Waited enough. Now it's time to show up in your new form. In your new form. In your new form. That's all spin, it's kicking in. Shed your skin and take your leash off. You're hunting, know who you are. If you want to, show you my scar. I can see what you've seen, if you know what I mean. That's the reason we made it so far. Reading no umbrella, not your Cinderella. Wanna go like hella, yeah. Show me how you get 'em. Waited enough. Now it's time to show up in your new. In your new form. In your new. Need to go somewhere. I'm fading in the air. Can't find myself down there. I need to go somewhere to run away. To run away. To run away. To run away. To run away, to run away. How to fly? You are mine. All the questions in mind. How to cry? You and all the questions in my mind. Oh, how to fly. Wanna go somewhere, someplace not on earth. Can't find myself down there. Need to fly like the birds. To run away. 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 To run away.
let's do this.
Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling for the same things? They could call it lust, but in you I trust. Let's forget about the world, cause you're where I wanna be. Is it really love? Is it really love? Or am I just naive, falling for the same things? They could call it lust, but in you I trust. Let's forget about the world, cause you're where I wanna be.
walking through the valley of the shadows. I let them tell me who I was. I've been talking myself up onto the gallows. Every time I tried to walk away, I couldn't make it through another day. Everything seemed to be an uphill battle. I was trying to make it on my own, my way. You were knocking on the door that I've been looking for. It was right in front of me. I was lost, but now I'm free. And I was blind, but now I see that your love is better than life. Your love is better than life. But I ain't turning back now. It's step by
Good morning. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here today. My name is Katie Monroe, and I'm the Academic Program Director of the Master of Medical Science program in Anesthesiology here at Emory University. I would like to welcome you to our 55th commencement ceremony. Today is an exciting day. I know many of our graduates have been counting down to it for months. Family and friends, we're so glad that you're here. We'd also like to extend a warm welcome and a special thanks to our leaders at the School of Medicine and the Department of Anesthesiology, as well as to our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Julius Hamilton. Thank you all for joining us this morning to celebrate the achievement of our graduates. I would like to first invite to the microphone our Dean of the School of Medicine, Dr. Sandra Wong.
Good morning. Welcome to the families and friends who are joining our graduation today. I'm humbled to be among the faculty and staff who've been with our students, now graduates, every step of the way. So please join me in thanking them. They're sitting here to the right of me and really deserve a round of applause. And to the graduates in front of me, congratulations to each and every one of you. Today is a joyous occasion. I love graduation. And the holidays, as we can see around us, are truly a joyous occasion. I marvel at our festive surroundings and confess that I am really looking forward to the new year. New Year's, like graduation, is a time for reflection, and it's a time to consider our goals and what we hope to contribute to the world around us, just like graduation. Every year, we define how we want our personal successes and broader impacts to look like. Those things should change, and changing goals are a sign of growth. I hope that, and I'm addressing this to our graduates, I hope that what you see as your success and your goals are different today than maybe what you had when you were in high school or when you were in college. And that's really how this should be. Today, we celebrate the success of getting to this point of graduating. The journey that you've been on here at Emory has been a redefining one, and I know that your resilience and perseverance have really shined through in the best way possible. With every rotation, how you define success shifted. I know you've grown into clinicians that we are proud to have trained. Through it all, I know you've learned about yourself and continue to consider what defines fulfillment and what defines success. I know for me, daily success is really important, living authentically, supporting those around me. And all of those little actions add up to bigger things. Today, that big thing is commencement. As you look back, I hope you realize that you will continue to mature as you enter into practice. Your goals will continue to change, as they should. Moving the goalposts is really the only way that we march down the field. Pardon the sports analogy, but many of you who are sports fans realize what I'm saying. I'll leave you by noting that healthcare is indeed a team sport. There is a collective we and a collective us. I always remind everybody to take care of yourselves so that you can take the best possible care of others. That's the only way that we can do it, and we do it as a team. So congratulations to all the graduates. I look forward to seeing the tremendous impact that you will have on your patients and on our community. Congratulations again. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you Dean Kristen Hairston, our Associate Dean of Student Success, and she'll make some additional welcoming comments from the School of Medicine.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to all the parents, to the spouses, grandparents, children, best friends, and truly welcome to our graduates. This is such a special day. On behalf of the Office of Medical Education and Student Affairs, as well as the office that I lead, which is the Center for Holistic Student Success, we just want you to know how proud we are of you. We know that you have put in so many hours and worked so hard, and today is that day that we get to celebrate you. And really, when thinking about your professional role, it is so important on a healthcare team. You're often the last voice that one hears before going into surgery. And it requires so much trust, so much knowledge, so much ability, and I truly respect what you do. Today, I really was thinking about what are the greatest words I could leave with you. And I really wanted to share with you one of my favorite quotes that my dad actually gave me during my college graduation. And I've hung this quote on my wall every year since, and it's meant something different every year since. So as you go for it, I think it holds different meaning. So the quote is from Marianne Rodmacher, and it says, "The jump is so frightening between where I am and where I want to be. For all I may become, I will close my eyes and leap." And when we think about today, we know you've worked really hard, and today is your day to celebrate, but we're so excited for you to go forth, to make a huge difference on the world, and to also take that leap in the face of fear. If it's something you're afraid of, it's probably worth doing. So congratulations, have a wonderful celebration, and we're so proud of you as Emory graduates. Thank you. Now it is my pleasure to welcome our next speaker, Dr. Anne-Marie Mackenzie Brown, who is professor and interim chair of the Department of Anesthesiology here at Emory. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, faculty, colleagues, friends, family, alumni, and most of all, the graduating class this year. We're celebrating your transition from student to graduate of the most prestigious AA program in the country. We're celebrating the culmination of hours, weeks, months, even years of putting classroom learning and hours of simulation into the operating room for the care of patients. You are part of the legacy of Dr. John Steinhaus, who envisioned a master's in anesthesiology built on a strong scientific foundation combined with excellent clinical practice. You've learned to always be vigilant, always be ready. Dr. Patel and Dr. Monroe have both done an excellent job in preparing you for the future. And as you go out into either academic or community practice, remember to keep that excitement of making every anesthetic the best experience for your patient. From the little things that mean so much to patients, like making sure that they don't emerge from an anesthetic nauseated, to the inevitable large hemodynamic swings that you may see in the operating room. See the patient's anxiety when you pick them up before taking them to the operating room, and think about the individual patient when you do things as routine as changing positions for a long anticipated surgery. Communicate with your surgical colleagues, sharing ownership of the patients while you're taking care of the patients. And remember the joy of anesthesia, being part of a team that delivers quality clinical care. We have the privilege of caring for patients under their most vulnerable state, and you have been trained by the best to do it well. So on behalf of the Department of Anesthesiology, welcome and congratulations to the class of 2025. And now I have the privilege of reintroducing Dr. Katie Monroe.
Graduates, we're here. We made it. You finished your courses, you completed your clinical hours, and you met your case requirements. It's taken time, energy, and a lot of determination. And today marks a really momentous accomplishment: your completion of the Master of Medical Science program in anesthesiology. You're crossing this finish line, closing this chapter, and you're beginning a new one. As we reflect back on your time in training, I'd like for us to just take a moment and pause and think about those people who've supported you along the way. Family, friends, classmates, staff, instructors, clinical preceptors. No doubt these people have played a role in your success. I would also like to recognize and thank the School of Medicine and the Department of Anesthesiology, as well as our clinical sites, for their unwavering support. As a student, you don't always see the role that they play behind the scenes in enabling the opportunities that you have, but I assure you, their support is essential. Your success in this program would probably not what it would be without all of the support of these hardworking, dedicated, caring individuals. And so graduates, if we could, just for a second, thank everyone. Join me in expressing thanks, please, to everyone who supported you on your academic journey. As we look ahead to the new chapter unfolding, if I may project just a little bit and say, this profession can test you. There will be cases that don't go as planned, times when you feel uncertain, circumstances that maybe aren't your fault, but in the moment they're your problem, and maybe even times when you make a mistake. That's part of being human. And what matters most in these moments is how you respond, with humility, with a commitment to learn, with compassion for yourself and others, and with an unwavering dedication to your patient's well-being. There will also be times of profound reward, and you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that your skill, your judgment, your presence helped make healing possible, that you were part of a team that accomplished remarkable things. As you move forward into practice, I hope that you remember the fundamentals that you brought here. Stay curious, stay humble, stay kind. Medicine will continue to evolve. Techniques will continue to change. Technology will advance. But the core of what we do, caring for human beings in vulnerable times when they can't care for themselves, and doing so with skill and compassion, that will remain constant. I wish you a deep sense of personal satisfaction and fulfillment as you go off into your careers, and we are so very proud of you. So now let's get to it and present this year's awards. I'd first like to recognize our honor graduates. We'll begin with the distinction of graduating with highest honors, and this is for graduates who have achieved a 3.9 GPA or better over the cumulative course of the curriculum. And when I call your name, if you could please stand up to be recognized. Maggie Yankovich. Christina Di Natali. Ezra Nafal. Emma Scheider. Congratulations to our graduates with highest honors. You may be seated. Next, we have the category of graduating with honors, and that is earning a GPA of 3.8 over the cumulative course of the curriculum. So again, when I call your name, if you could please stand to be recognized. Molly Wang. Bhaskar Patel. And Meredith Cox. Congratulations to our honors graduates. Next, I have the privilege of presenting our first award, and this one is the John E. Steinhaus Award for Academic Excellence. I'm just going to read a brief inscription on the plaque. It is presented in honor of the founder of the Master of Medical Science program in anesthesiology. As the first chair of the Department of Anesthesiology at Emory University School of Medicine, Dr. John E. Steinhaus established the program in 1969. His insight into future clinical needs of the anesthesia profession led Dr. Steinhaus to set high academic standards for anesthetist education, particularly in the areas of physiology and pharmacology and on the science of patient monitoring. This award is presented to the graduating senior who has maintained the highest overall grade point average and who, in the opinion of the faculty, exemplifies the qualities of academic excellence envisioned by Dr. Steinhaus. The 2025 Steinhaus Award is presented to Maggie Yankovich. All right. Now our clinical program director, Dr. Gaurav Patel, will present our next two awards.
Hi, everyone. I have the privilege and honor of presenting our next award, which is the David M. Nagel Award for Clinical Excellence. I'll read the inscription as Dr. Monroe did. This honor is presented in honor of David Michael Nagel, a 1976 graduate of the Master of Medical Science program in anesthesiology. This person's exemplary clinical skills, dedication to her patients, and outstanding personal qualities made her an excellent role model for future anesthetists. This award, is presented to the graduating senior who has maintained the highest clinical grade point average and who, in the opinion of the faculty, best exemplifies the dedication to clinical excellence demonstrated by Mr. Nagel. This year's award is presented to Emma Scheider. For our next award, we have the Wesley T. Frazier Achievement Award. This is named to honor and acknowledge the boundless energy and tireless efforts of the director of the anesthesiology program during the crucial formative years from 1972 to 1998. Dr. Frazier, through selfless dedication to the concept, the students, the graduates, helped preserve and lead the development of the educational program and the anesthesiologist profession at the local, state, and national levels, on behalf of anesthesiologists nationwide. This award is presented to the graduating senior who entered the program from a non-clinical background and who has maintained one of the highest levels of academic performance in both the classroom and clinical arenas. This award further recognizes a strong element of initiative, persistence, and self-motivation in the development of clinical skills during the senior year. This year's award is presented to Ezra Nofal. I now have the privilege of introducing Lindsay Emerson, who will be coming up here to introduce our next award.
Good morning. I have the privilege of welcoming Mrs. Sue Kelly to the podium to present a special award, the Elizabeth Idell Kelly Scholarship. This is named in memory of her daughter Liz, who was a student in our program. I had the honor of mentoring Liz during her time with us, and I want to take a moment to read the inscription on the award because it beautifully represents the life that she lived. For embodying the virtues and commitment to service that defined Elizabeth Kelly. As a student herself, Elizabeth brought caring friendship to her classmates, pursued learning with boundless enthusiasm, and gave selflessly of her talents to aid those in their hour of need. So I want to welcome her mom, Miss Sue Kelly.
I'm thrilled to be here and delighted to be honoring Liz and giving out the Elizabeth Idell Kelly Scholarship today. It's very hard for me, but it's something that we decided as a family that we would do forever and try to always have a family member here to award this. Liz loved anesthesia. She loved this program. She went to Emory as an undergrad, took a few years to kind of do different things, and then decided she wanted to do this, and she loved it. She called every night without fail as we were sitting down for dinner to tell me what she had done that day, whether it was something she observed, something she got to do, some test she took, how she did, what answers she thinks she missed, what answers she thought she got. I mean, just on and on and on and on, to the point of every night our dinner was cold because she just rambled and rambled and rambled. She loved it. So we started this scholarship because we thought this is a great way to honor her and to honor Emory and all that they did for her and how just elated she was and delighted and excited about life. Because of this program and because of her classmates. And I know you guys are all probably have gotten very close to each other and you probably want to get away from each other sometimes, but I know that you work very closely together and she loved that. The last text that I got from her, I didn't understand, but you all will. She said, really looking forward to being in the OR tomorrow. 2 smiley emojis. In the surgical flaps room, crying emoji, equals yucko in all capital letters, exclamation point, exclamation point. I didn't know what it meant, but I knew that she was excited to be back in the OR. She loved to help others. She gave so much of herself with no complaint. She cared deeply about people and this program and gave as much as she could. This program gave her that avenue to do that. I hope that by awarding this scholarship in Liz's name, that you will continue her legacy. Care about what you are doing. Care about your patients. Do the extra step. Make it more than just a job. Show compassion and always go the extra mile. Honor Liz and honor this wonderful program at Emory. Congratulations, do I say it now? To Asefa Mashesha.
Hey everyone. My name is Greg Jarvis, and I am the chair of the Progress and Promotions Committee, which oversees the faculty advisor relationships that our students at the Emory University Anesthesiologist Assistant Program. Today I'll be presenting an award in memory of Justin L. Lunt, who was a student in our program between the years of 2020 and 2022. Through his everyday actions, Justin modeled a selfless and caring energy that created a long-lasting impact on all who knew him. The Justin L. Lunt Memorial Award is presented to a graduating AA student who has demonstrated unwavering professionalism, an individual who looks out for others, is kind to all, and whose actions model the high standards of the Emory Anesthesiologist Assistant Program. The student receiving this award today has demonstrated his knowledge, kindness, and steadfast commitment to serving others. He truly takes a genuine interest in everyone's welfare and consistently finds new ways to help navigate the matrix of life, both in and outside of the operating room. I'm glad to know that your helping hands have found a place in the practice of anesthesiology, and I'm happy to present this award to Neo Sanson.
Thank you, Jarvis, for the nice surprise. Hi, everyone. My name is Neo. I am the class co-chief of the class of 2025. Special thanks to Maggie, my other co-chief. So I have the wonderful honor of presenting a couple more awards, including one where I apologize. Including for the people that we believe have really made a special place in how we have become anesthetists. This first award goes to, out of all of the clinical preceptors we've had over the hundreds of hospitals and hundreds of preceptors that we've met, this person that we collectively decided is the one who stood out the most and the one who impacted us the most. And that person is Justin Maddox. All right, the next award that I have to present, this person, she has been with us from the very start. She has watched us through thick and thin and made sure that even up to now that we are getting our Georgia Medical Board's prep and everything, that we can become anesthetists come March or whenever we all start. So this next person holds a very special place in our heart, and the Academic Instructor of the Year award goes to Jen Stever. All right, and unfortunately, you have to deal with me for the next couple minutes. But I am very lucky to give a couple remarks to my fellow classmates and to everyone here. So, faculty, family, and friends, and most importantly, the graduating class, good morning. Donald Glover recently shared something that stuck with me, a quote I believe from Confucius. Everybody has two lives, and the second life starts when you realize you only have one. For Glover, it was a health scare that sparked the realization, a moment that opens his eyes to what really mattered. For us, it wasn't quite so dramatic. Our awakening was more akin to a slow 7-semester burn. It came in pieces at 6 a.m. in hospital hallways, half awake with a coffee in hand, performing mental gymnastics to convince ourselves the day will fly by. If self-discovery needed a setting, ours was fluorescent lighting and caffeine-fueled determination. But isn't that what's great about this program? Somewhere between the relentless summer exams, the endless string of clinical days, and every ortho surgeon making sure that we gave 2 grams of Ancef, those pieces started fitting like a puzzle. We began to feel one life closing and another life quietly taking shape. Our first life was full of studying, sweating, and wondering if we'd ever see daylight again. But this moment, this day, marks the beginning of our second life, the one where all the preparation finally becomes practice. As we make this transition, it is important to recognize the struggles we've been through. Our second life was forged in ORs across the country, where attendings were either right next to you, pushing medications and handing you the airway, or halfway to Hawaii, when you called to induce. It was shaped during those nights at Grady, where 3 a.m. GSWs became your alarm clock, if you were lucky enough to get shut-eye before then. We learned to secure airways in crowded rooms, think clearly under pressure, and smile politely when surgeons and patients ask, "So, are you a CRNA?" We became experts at internal chaos and external composure. I remember our very first sim lab with George, the dummy, Will Bundy at the controls, and somehow his forced falsetto caused such profound stress-induced anxiety that half of us couldn't even put monitors on correctly. Our hands shook, our minds went blank, we forgot things we'd just been taught. If anesthesia felt this impossible on a dummy with half torn off eyelashes, how are we ever going to do this on a real patient? But here's the crazy part. If you put any of us in that same scenario today, we'd handle it without breaking a sweat. We've lived through enough real cases, enough complications, enough oh no moments that became, okay, we've got this moments. That transformation from fumbling with monitor leads to confidently managing actual crises, that's the journey we all made together. It only took us 2,500 hours, but we got there. Through the trial by fire, we learned how to be amazing anesthetists. To my classmates, you understand better than anyone what this journey required. You lived through early mornings, late cases, and the days where your brains felt like mush, and they might have actually been a little mush. You celebrated your first smooth arterial line, your first complicated case that ended safely, and the magical moment when your grade 1 intubation was actually grade 1. You also survived imposter syndrome, exhaustion, frustration, and those post-test powwows filled with, well, I got that one wrong, and that one too. You carried each other through it all. Study sessions, shared notes, shared meals, shared moments of doubt. You kept each other going. That bond, the way we supported one another, will follow us into every OR we enter from this day forward. To the people who supported us, family, friends, partners, you experienced this program alongside us, even if you never saw the inside of an operating room. You endured our I have to study era, which lasted considerably longer than any of us ever thought it would. You forgave us for missing birthdays, holidays, texts, and sometimes entire conversations because our minds were lost in a sea of mnemonics. To touch and, well, there's about 6 or 7 more words to that one that I probably can't say on stage. You celebrated our victories, even on days where we barely had the energy to celebrate ourselves. Your support is woven into everything we're honoring today, and we wouldn't be here without you, and we know it. To our faculty and clinical instructors, you saw potential in us before we saw it in ourselves. You pushed us when we needed pushing, steadied us when we needed steadying, and trusted us with more responsibility than we thought we were ready for, which turns out exactly what we needed. You taught us that anesthesia isn't just about pharmacology and physiology. It's about judgment, communication, and the kind of vigilance that keeps patients safe even when everything looks routine. You modeled what it meant to be both technically excellent and deeply human in our work. To our clinical preceptors across every rotation, to everyone who invested their time and expertise in shaping us, we thank you. Your influence will echo through every patient we care for from this day forward. And now we stand at the threshold of our second life, the ones we worked for, the one we earned, the one where we finally step into roles we've spent years preparing. This new life will challenge us, surprise us, and demand more of us than the one before it. But we're ready, not because we're perfect, but because we're proven, again and again, that we can grow, adapt, and rise to whatever comes our way. And to echo the words of Dr. Mackenzie Brown, let's really sink in the second life that we're entering. We'll be steady hands in the OR, the calm voices that when things get chaotic, the ones who make a difference between a routine case and a crisis averted. We'll work alongside surgeons, nurses, and entire case teams who will trust us with their patients' lives. For all my Spider-Man fans out there, with great power comes great responsibility. We'll face decisions that matter, not hypothetical case studies, but real people, real families, and real stakes. And we'll rise to meet the responsibility, not because we have all the answers, but because we've learned how to find them and how to adapt. So let me leave you with this. Your second life doesn't begin with your first job or your first paycheck. It begins when you recognize that you only get one life, and now you have the skills, confidence, and purpose to truly live it. So, as Confucius and Donald Glover said, everybody has two lives, and the second starts when you realize you only have one. Class of 2025, today is the start of our second life. Thank you and congratulations. And now I have the honor of reintroducing Dr. Gaurav Patel.
Thank you very much for that. I now have the privilege and honor of introducing our commencement speaker, Dr. Julius Hamilton. Dr. Hamilton is a practicing cardiac anesthesiologist and president CEO of Physician Specialists in Anesthesia, which has proudly served as the exclusive anesthesia provider for Emory St. Joseph's Hospital since 1980. Dr. Hamilton has served in numerous leadership roles within the Georgia Society of Anesthesiologists and the American Society of Anesthesiologists. He is a past president of the GSA, and he is the immediate past chair of the American Society of Anesthesiologists Political Action Committee, the ASA-PAC, which is the largest political action committee in medicine. During his tenure as chair, the ASA-PAC raised over $3.8 million, ranking it in the top 10 of all trade association political action committees nationwide. Outside of the operating room and society leadership, Dr. Hamilton is an avid golfer, a proud husband, and a father of 3 incredible children, Ella Sage, Hallie Elizabeth, and Julius Jr. Happy to turn it over to Dr. Hamilton.
Thank you for the warm introduction. I am so glad to stand in front of you today to congratulate the graduates of the Emory Masters of Medical Science program in Anesthesiology, class of 2025. You each have so much to be proud of. Reflect on your journey into the program, shadowing, taking prereqs, studying for the GRE. You earn your spot into the program, and now you have reached your goal. What a journey you have completed. Everyone, please join me again in congratulating the class of 2025. But today, I'd like to help prepare you for your next journey. The journey that lies ahead is the journey of a lifetime. Surgery is a team sport, and you are invaluable members of the team. How can you fulfill your commitment to the team, and more importantly, to your patients, for a lifetime? How can you dispose of your duties with joy and lead a professional life that is incredibly rewarding? Simply put, how can the passion that you feel right now persevere? Passion that perseveres is key to long-term success and happiness. There are many definitions of success, but my favorite definition of success is when actions are aligned with values. Live at discordance with your core values at your own risk. As a leader in a large medical practice and in my state and national anesthesiology societies, I have witnessed firsthand what happens when one's actions do not align with their values. My goal is for each of you to lead professional lives that are full of meaning and satisfaction. Today, I will share a framework intended to fulfill said goal by ensuring your current passion perseveres. I'd like to reintroduce a mnemonic to you, one that each of you are familiar with. PEEP. Yes, PEEP. No, it's not positive end expiratory pressure, but this PEEP stands for purpose, expecting and embracing challenges, and practicing deliberately. We will start with purpose, the most important of the 3 points today. I'd like to share a famous parable about purpose. After the Great Fire of 1666 that leveled London, the world's most famous architect, Christopher Wren, was commissioned to rebuild St. Paul's Cathedral. It is said that one day in 1671, Christopher Wren observed 3 bricklayers on a scaffold, one crouched, one half standing, and one standing tall, working very hard and fast. To the first bricklayer, Christopher Wren asked the question, "What are you doing?" To which the bricklayer replied, "I'm a bricklayer. I'm working hard to feed my family." The second bricklayer responded, "I'm a builder. I'm building a wall." But the third bricklayer, the most productive of the 3 and the future leader of the group, when asked the question, "What are you doing?" replied with a gleam in his eye, "I'm building the house for the Almighty God." I say to you today, the first bricklayer had a job. The second bricklayer had a career, but the third bricklayer had a calling. He had clear perspective on the purpose of his work, and it fueled his motivation and focus. He was a man living with purpose. If you work in the operating theater with your purpose in mind, your ability to thoughtfully care for your patients will be limitless. Your ability to tap into your purpose is even greater if your values align with whichever organization you join. Your core values are what guide you on your journey to fulfilling your purpose. At Physician Specialists in Anesthesia, I am proud to say we exist to serve the greater Atlanta community by providing high-quality anesthesia care that promotes healing and reduces human suffering. When you are doing your clinical work, you're not just doing a case. You are taking care of a person that is worthy of dignity and respect. Please never forget your purpose. Our second of 3 points is for you to expect and embrace challenges. In the poem If, author Rudyard Kipling provides a framework for success for his son. In the poem, stanza by stanza, Rudyard details how one ought to respond if they encounter specific types of challenges. I believe that the first stanza of this poem is relevant for today. If you can keep your head when all those about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, but yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. And yes, the first line of that poem would reflect to say, blame anesthesia. Your journey will be full of challenges. Your ability to expect and embrace said challenges is key to your ability to endure. Rather than identifying challenges as obstacles, work hard to see them as growth opportunities. These opportunities for growth are key to your development as a clinician. Any seasoned and respected professional can tell you about a defining hardship that fueled their growth. A few of you will be joining me at Physician Specialist in Anesthesia in just a few months. Work with me long enough, and you will hear me joyfully discuss a clinical opportunity with you. I usually make those remarks half joking, but each challenging case you take on wholeheartedly, you are moving closer and closer to fulfilling your purpose. And my final point for each of you today is for you to practice deliberately. These words are interchangeable. You can also regard it as deliberate practice, but for the sake of the spelling of our mnemonic today, we will keep the order practicing deliberately to avoid an alternative spelling. Deliberate practice is an extension of expecting and embracing challenges. It is where you identify gaps in your ability and you work hard to improve. We ought not to mindlessly go through our day. Instead, always look for ways to improve. Approach each IV, an airway, as an opportunity to become a master of your craft. Whenever you identify a weakness, rather than avoid it, go out of your way to develop the skill. This intentional skill development also goes beyond technical skill. When you encounter a patient who is terrified and anxious, how can you earnestly connect with them beyond providing an anxiolytic? How can you improve your ability to show up with poise and focus during emergencies? Deliberate practice is incredibly challenging, but those who employ it in their day-to-day work go on to be the most capable and excel far beyond those who do not. During your clinical program, you have developed skill. Talent multiplied over time develops skill. But I say to you today that skill multiplied over time creates achievement. At the end of each of your clinical days in the future, rather than making a quick exit from your facility, sit in a locker room, or maybe in your car if necessary, and reflect on your day. Think about each patient you cared for, each coworker you assisted, each interpersonal interaction you had. Do an honest self-evaluation and reflection on your performance for the day. But also evaluate if your values aligned with your actions. Whenever you identify gaps, which you will and should, think of how you'd like to address that gap on your next possible opportunity. Deliberate practice is even more effective if you can find a colleague or mentor whose opinion matters to you and ask them for candid feedback. The ability to self-reflect and receive feedback and then respond with positive action will serve you well for the course of your career. So in conclusion, I hope you employed the PEEP framework that I shared with you today. Whenever you're setting the PEEP on the ventilator, I hope you think about this morning. The joy you feel for this achievement, the passion you have for your specialty. Our 3 points for today will equip you with the tools necessary to ensure that this passion perseveres. Purpose, expect and embrace challenges, practice deliberately. If you commit to employing this framework in your clinical practice, there is no limit to how far you can go. Thank you.
All right, graduates, please rise to prepare to take the stage for the presentation of the diplomas. Now, by the virtue of the authority of Emory University School of Medicine, when I call your name, I confer upon you the respective academic degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations appertaining thereunto. And I offer my sincere congratulations. Nawaf Alay. Connor Catalani. Meredith Cox. Caden Cunningham. Alfonso de Diego. Christina Di Natali. Caleb Ely. Ronald Gauss. Brandon Houston. Ilya Kulinich. Faisal Mamani. Jackson McKim. Justin McNair. Asefa Mashesha. Maximilian Morbidelli. Udayamurti Nilakantan. Ezra Nofal. Chidubam Onyakanba. Jacob Orlando. Cecily Parker. Bhaskar Patel. Murali Patel. Esther Palk. Jessica Pham. Julie Fan. Harrison Richards. Neo Sansone. Emma Scheider. Grace Swenson. Jasmine Thompson. Laura Threckel. Shandon Tennis. Vincent Truong. Molly Wang. Margaret Yankovich. We'll give Molly and Maggie a moment to get back to their seats. And now, graduates, if you'll please rise. It's time to move your tassel from the right side to the left. If you ever forget which side your tassel goes on from now on, remember that you wear it on your left side over your heart to remind you of your struggles, your accomplishments, the AA program, and your alma mater. Congratulations, class of 2025. This concludes our ceremony. We're asking all of our guests to please remain seated until the graduates have exited. And graduates, we're going to gather outside on the stairs for a photograph and for a Coke toast. All right? Just hold one moment, though.